Heyo Internet, Bear here, back with more Peace Walker Story Mode. We're currently hovering over Mother Base because I've been doing some off-screen play, and Mother Base leveled up to level 4, where you get your first Hex Core for the Mother Base. As a sort of big upgrade. Unfortunately, you lose all of the small cores that were attached to the original facility, but you get the nice new Hex Core facility, which I thought was a nice touch. Anyway, we left off right before the Pupa battle, so we're going to jump straight into that. I quite like the Pupa battles, or all the different unmanned AI battles are quite good.
Careful, Snake. I've never seen anything like that, and I've got no idea how to bring it down. Maybe the scientist knows. However you do it, take that thing out.
These battles are quite interesting because they work almost like Monster Hunter battles, except with mechs, basically, which for me is absolutely fantastic. But also, it's great because you get to do this. M60 and an RPG. And this is the kind of insanity that results from fighting machines. It's actually nice because for someone who does largely non-lethal playthroughs, it's fun to break out some of the bigger, stupider weapons that you don't normally get to use. We'll get to do some proper monster hunting stuff later. I think this one doesn't actually have the full monster hunter mechanics enabled yet. You just get to knock it about a bit.
That's an AI weapon, the Pupa. It's fast, so be careful.
Thanks, Huey.
Engaging track units.
Lie flat to avoid getting hit when it charges.
This is why it's partly Monster Hunter. You can break a lot of its core components by blasting them up.
Engaging track units.
This is actually a great fight for farming XP on your heavier weapons. You don't normally get to use that often. Oh.
Engaging track units.
Oh, whoops. I didn't hear the engaging shock units. Whoops. Wow, that did a lot of damage.
Take those lightning rods out. They direct its shock attack.
Yeah, this is tricky. You've got to make sure you've got a reasonably clear area to work with for this. Because they all have fairly nasty AoE on them. But you find a safe spot. This is a great DPS phase. You can just hammer in on it. Uh-oh. You don't want to stand in here for too long, though, because she will charge through the corridors at points. Easy does it.
High voltage incoming.
Easy does it there, buddy. Come on, come down.
Shoot them, not me!
Oi! I didn't realize you could do that. That's really cool. I didn't realize if you accidentally hit the thing, Huey reacted.
There'll be some warning signs when it's coming out.
The easiest way is just to hide in a gap. It can't. You could stand up on one of these, but you just hide in a gap. There we go.
Climb into the AI pod.
Others outside. Others outside. Others outside.
I am out of bullets.
Others outside.
I forgot you had to blow the AI hatch. Wow.
Others outside.
I am retarded. That's super embarrassing.
Others outside. Others outside. Initializing.
The Pupa's back up and running. Shut it down again.
You're asking for the impossible. We need some time. Try again later.
You destroyed the machine gun.
Easy there. Yeah, see, like, there's one up there, so... Oh, well, okay. Just gonna get run over there. Let's create a safe area to hold up in. Oh my goodness, seriously. Oh, easy does it. Oh, here.
Blow the hatch and climb into the AI pod. You should be able to get in the AI pod.
Now this is a queer little mini-game that's coming up. Quite interesting and leads to some very interesting bits later in the game. This one's fairly straightforward though.
Pull out all the AI's memory boards before the pod's ejected. The black memory boards are locked. Go after the boards with icons over them. You can unlock memory boards by destroying the mechanical components that they control. Any boards you remove can be used to build our own AI weapon. Memory boards have different functions according to the icons displayed over them. Go ahead and take
Now,
whichever
if
ones
you
you want.
take long enough while you're beating it up, you can obviously unlock a lot of the
No good.
AI
That one's
pods.
broken.
I think if you, yeah, like these, I don't think these would all be broken if we hadn't hit the core so much. If we'd just gone for the outside components, but obviously that results in a much slower fight. I might record some of my Monster Hunter style farm fights for these, if people are interested. Do it as like a side video. that's a Pupa battle.
That was an unmanned weapon. A prototype. I made it myself.
Who are you?
I work here. Well, used to, anyway. Name's Huey. And who might you be? You don't look like one of those mercenaries.
Me. I'm an entomologist.
A fighting entomologist?
Yeah, I specialize in butterflies. I'm here to catch Ulysses.
Ulysses? Huh. I didn't think they lived in Costa Rica. Morphos, maybe?
That's it. Need to get some before the Washington Treaty goes into effect.
Says here Morphos aren't covered under the treaty.
Must have slipped my mind.
You sure you're feeling all right?
Anyway, long story short, the butterfly got away. So how about it, Doc? Did you make that big butterfly too?
Yes. And no.
What was that thing? What are they doing here?
Something tells me you're no ordinary entomologist. The nukes were loaded on that machine. The project's entering its final phase.
Project?
That's right. The thermonuclear warheads they brought in, the bases scattered throughout Costa Rica, the mercenaries, the AI weapons, the research we were conducting here. It's all for this. We used this facility to develop unmanned weapons.
Unmanned?
Robots. The one you just fought was a pupa. There's also a flying type called Chrysalis and a treaded type, the cocoon. Motor control, target detection, tracking, attack, capture, and transport functions are all controlled by an electronic brain. There's no need for a human pilot. They can only follow simple commands, though.
Why build them here?
For the CIA. They invited me here a year ago.
That's who that guy was.
CIA's station chief for Central America. Goes by the name of Hot Coldman. Apparently he was some sort of hero back at the height of the Cold War. He's the one running the show. We called it the Peace Walker Project.
Peace Walker.
They're going to deploy a new type of nuclear weapon along the Caribbean coast of Latin America. A mobile, unmanned nuclear platform.
Unmanned nuclear platform.
A fail-deadly system that can automatically move into position and launch a retaliatory nuclear strike. It can move on its own, and stealth shields it from radar and satellite detection, drastically reducing the risk of it being destroyed in a preemptive strike.
And this is the new deterrent?
Supposed to be. The problem is the locomotion system. There's no dry season in the Caribbean. It rains all year round. The terrain is full of tropical rainforest. A lot of the time you can't even build a proper road. So I went back to where it all started.
What's that?
Legs. Walking power. A mobile launcher carrying a thermonuclear warhead even more powerful than the Soviet RDS-220s. That's Peace Walker.
Chico's Basilisco.
We did the assembly and field testing here.
A walking nuke.
I sort of borrowed the original idea from behind the Iron Curtain.
The missing link between infantry and artillery. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. But they'd actually need to deploy dozens of them. Coldman needs funding for that. And to get it, he's planning a test, which will also serve as a demonstration for the folks back at Langley.
Wait, he's launching a nuke to prove that his perfect deterrent works?
In his words, to prove that if someone attacks us, we will strike back. Put simply, nuclear deterrence is the idea of using nukes to keep nukes in check. If one side launches nuclear weapons, the other is sure to launch theirs in retaliation, which makes launching an act of suicide. In the end, neither side can use its nukes. It's thanks to this doctrine that the world's two superpowers have avoided all-out confrontation. Nuclear deterrence has brought us peace. At the very least, it's prevented another world war from breaking out. But the theory of nuclear deterrence exists only on paper. In reality, there's no guarantee that either side would follow through with retaliation. There's the chance that a preemptive strike could destroy all the missile bases, render them unable to retaliate. But the biggest flaw in the theory is that the decision to retaliate has to be made by human beings. Let me give you a real-world example. Let's say Country X launches first against Country Y. If the people in charge of Country Y are like you and me, they're not going to be able to retaliate, knowing that they're effectively ending all human life.
So then the weak link in nuclear deterrence theory is the uncertainty of retaliation.
Bingo. And that creates a loophole Country X can exploit to launch the first strike. Which is why we designed the system to be unmanned. With Peace Walker, retaliation is certain. It chooses the appropriate target and launches a retaliatory nuclear strike every time, without needing human input to make the call. Launching a nuclear strike against Peace Walker is tantamount to pushing the launch button against yourself. It closes the loophole in nuclear deterrence theory, rendering our friends in Country X completely unable to launch. What Coldman is saying is that to achieve this goal, we need to demonstrate that retaliation will be carried out by a machine. He will launch his nuke. And then his version of deterrence will be complete.
And you believe him?
I believe in peace through nuclear deterrence.
Why?
My father worked on the Manhattan Project. He put his whole life into that research. And all it created was this illusion of peace called deterrence. And then I was born, unable to walk. I had no choice but to face up to the nukes. But if they do end up launching, it'll all have been for nothing. They've got to be stopped.
Where'd they take the warheads?
To a base near the border. The final test is 5 days from now.
Where's the base?
You're gonna stop them? It's kind of a hike. And besides, there's a surefire way to halt the project. You see, Peace Walker isn't quite finished yet.
What do you mean?
It's missing one last critical structural component. The AI. Its brain. The reptile pod, the electronic brain I was working on, can only follow commands like, go there, attack that. I guess you could compare it to the human cerebellum. But for nuclear deterrence to work, it must function in place of a human decision maker. It needs something to analyze the huge volumes of data coming in and select an appropriate target for retaliation. Hence, it needs the high-level decision-making ability of a cerebrum.
A mechanical cerebrum.
The hardware configuration is modeled on the human brain, similar to the pod I worked on, but its role is completely different.
Where's it being made?
A research lab to the north. An AI expert named Dr. Strangelove is developing it. Very hush-hush.
Dr. Strangelove.
Strangelove was recruited from the States, too. In the field of AI, there's no one better, that's for sure. But man, what a basket case. She hates everybody. Go to the lab and destroy Peace Walker's cerebrum. I'm pretty sure they haven't finished the final calibrations yet. I'll lend you my ID card. It'll get you through security at the lab. Oh, and one more thing.
What's this? A letter of recommendation?
Yeah, it's from me to Dr. Strangelove. Don't read it, okay?
So what will you do now?
I'm done with science. At this rate, I'm probably already halfway to hell anyway.
Not so fast. Why not join us? Our place is outer heaven. You'd fit right in.
Outer heaven?
Yeah.
I'm probably better suited to something like that than this paradise.
Good. You get a free balloon trip for signing up. Enjoy it. You'll feel like a butterfly.
You're an agent, right? Who do you work for?
Me? I was a Cold War tool, same as you. Now I'm not so useful anymore, so they cut me loose. I don't answer to anyone. Call me Snake.
Snake. That name seems familiar somehow.
That's probably just deja vu.
You see that there? Beyond the cloud forest? See those ruins?
Yeah.
That's where you'll find Dr. Strangelove's lab.
Good old Metal Gear. Defeat a boss, get a long movie sequence. Yes, you know, tons of XP for the M60 in the RPG. Wow, that was actually a crap load of XP for the M60, not bad. Ah, nice, the Sport Marker Throne, very good. Shaft Grenade, also useful. And cheaty goggles.
Snake, the doctor's safe here with us.
Huey, how are you feeling?
Never better. This is quite the pad you've got here, boss. I'm impressed.
Call me Snake.
Whatever you say. Like it or not, everyone here calls you boss. By the way, if you're at all interested in improving your tech, by all means assign me to the R&D section. I'm pretty sure I'll be of some use. Once we have the necessary materials and blueprints, we can start work on that bipedal mech.
I appreciate that, but are you sure you're okay with having your work used for war?
I'll be using it to keep past mistakes in check. If I can help thwart the Peace Walker project, I'm happy to do it.
Deterrence theory, Huey style, huh?
Anyway, if you need any intel on the enemy's weapons or electronic brains, contact me. I've been given my own frequency.
Sounds good to me, Doc. I'll do that.
Good. Whatever the means, you must put a stop to their plans.
Yeah, Huey's pretty high-level R&D.
Hey, boss, you mind if we powwow for a sec?
What now? MSF brand rations?
Actually, that sounds... No. With all the men we have now, it may be time we started sending some of them to other countries.
You mean dispatching mercs?
How else are we gonna keep feeding the crew we have?
I know. You're right.
Okay, to deploy troops, select Outer Ops from the Mother Base menu. If it goes really well, we might even get new recruits, weapon design specs, or leads on new missions. We can deploy any vehicles or large-scale weapons in our arsenal as well.
And if things don't go really well?
Yeah, we could lose men. I won't try and force you. You're the one calling the shots here, boss.
Alright, we have unlocked the Facebook game. Ah, nice. Bunch of my R&D finished. Holy crap, level ups. Right, so we throw Huey... Actually, he's also pretty good on intel. What do we got here? Medical, yes please. You have great combat, so you definitely go into the combat unit, and you R&D. Now there wasn't much, I think, left. Yeah, there wasn't too much left to R&D, because I got a lot of it done off camera. Just because I was doing a bunch of off-camera stuff. Like, that's why I have 2 tanks and 3 LAVs. Which is going to make the early Outer Ops stupid easy. Because, yeah, this is... you have to send your soldiers, you send them out, you go play a mission, you come back. so this, for example, there's literally two enemy soldiers, so we just throw in a couple of our chumpy guys. This takes a little while at the start, because you've got, no teams set up, but once you've got a bunch of teams set up, it's pretty straightforward. You know what, I'll bring them up to a 6-man complement, I think. Just to absolutely make sure that they win. And now this is where we just absolutely destroy. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna not go full retard. I was gonna deploy every mech unit we have to the one, but that's a bit of a waste since we can clear all 3 missions available to us with the current things we've got. Poor enemy team will not be expecting 2 tanks, an LAV, my best leveled Merc, and some backup. So yeah, that's the Facebook game. It's pretty freaking straightforward stuff. What else happened? Alright, Huey talked about developing our own bipedal mech, but we can't actually do that yet. That comes available later in the game. We'll address that when it comes up. Did we get any? Ah, nice. Okay, we've got the free battle with the BTR-60. Very nice. Which is good because it's a lot easier for me to farm for BTRs than it is for me to do the story mission for the LAV over and over again, because you have to skip all the movie sequences when you're doing that, which is no fun. But, looking at the clock here, I think we're about finished for this video, because there is no way we're getting through this stage in 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure there's a long video on the end as well where we get introduced to Dr. Strangelove, so this will be a good pickup point for the next video. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.